Hi, my name's Glenn Proudfoot. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I started playing guitar at the age of 10 years old, and my influences back then were rock players like, Angus Young, Jimi Hendrix, and even some blues players like Stevie Ray Vaughan. And from that, the thing that I liked about the rock guitar and blues guitar sound the most was, the feeling and inflection they would have in their soloing. So I started practicing, and I'd practice even from a really young age. I'd practice between 2 or 3 hours a day. And I was self-taught pretty much up until I was 16 or 17 years old. When I kind of hit that stage when I was 16 or 17, I felt that, there were certain things, like I could play most things, but I didn't really understand where it was coming from. And, I just needed to go on to that next level. So I found a great guitar teacher in Melbourne, whose name is David Herzog. And for the next 2 or 3 years, we started to, he just started to guide me through things and piece things together for me. And it was a major turning point in my guitar career. And during that stage, from the age of, say, 16 to 19 or 20, I'd be practicing between 10 and 12 hours every day, non-stop, religiously, even on Christmas Day, birthdays. And, it was an amazing experience and something that I'll never forget, it was a very difficult thing to do, to not be going out and partying and hanging with your friends and stuff like that. But, that's how you get good, is that you practice. People have gifts and talents for things, but, you've got to enhance that and nurture it, I guess, and practice hard. With my playing, when I was about 16 or 17, I was, Stevie Ray Vaughan was possibly the biggest influence for me at that stage. And I think it was, I love the tonality, but he also had this aggressiveness and he played really quick and really clean and it was great. And, the other thing with Stevie Ray is I found that, I knew it was pentatonic scale, but I found that he was using a lot of different notes that I hadn't heard before. And basically what I started to do, just say with a simple Stevie Ray lick, like say if we're in E, he'll do a little thing like this, where he would sweep the bottom 2 strings. But he's using like the F sharp and the F there. And little things like that started to make me think about, adding new notes to the pentatonic scale, and I was searching for new players, and then someone passed on an Eric Johnson CD to me, which just absolutely blew my mind, because it's just a total new way of approaching the pentatonic scale. And basically, with a lot of the blues players and Hendrix and stuff like that, like they'll do a lot of stuff, but they'll always kind of stick between 1 or 2 boxes, So. And then I'd start to hear things that, Eric Johnson would do, where he'd be using pentatonic, but he'd be moving, up and down the neck really, really freely, like doing things like, and he would do interesting things, like he would add the major third into the pentatonic scale, so all of a sudden, and he'd come up with things like, and that kind of thing just absolutely blew my mind, and I knew that I'd kind of finally found the sound that I was after. Because, look, I love guitar players like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani as well, but I never totally understood the tonality. Like there's a lot of modal stuff in there, and that really wasn't my thing. I'm more influenced by rock and blues, like I said, and with a player like Eric Johnson, that kind of really, really blew everything apart for me, and it was a great thing. This lick is, I guess, it's my own lick, but it's something that's very heavily influenced by Eric Johnson. And basically, so we're in the key of E, and we're using, like I said, the major third, which is this note here, the G sharp, which is not a new, blues players have been using it for years, but it's kind of different way of approaching it. So basically what we do is we start on the bottom of the scale here, and we go, that's the first part there. And from here, so got this little E arpeggio there. And then to finish it off, we've got, so you've got the E arpeggio here. But all we're doing is we're taking the bottom half of that sliding back. So you can see it's very, very melodic at the same time. But now, having said that, you know, I'll use that against something that doesn't necessarily have to be bluesy. It can be quite heavy. And it's amazing how the major third even works against something really, really heavy and dirty, you know? So once again, slowly. That last part is a combination of, that's a flat 5 arpeggio there that I've got here. So, and that last arpeggio, this is kind of where I took all these pentatonic scales to, is that with the pentatonic scale, you know, everyone knows the basic shape. And then you, like I said before, you know, you've got the blues scale in the major third. And also the major 6.